The black hoodie.
No, the hoodie will be is that big hoodie that I normally wear. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Hope you've had a wonderful day. I wish I could say the same. It's been stupidly cold here. Um, my carer is around. We're trying to get me dressed because unfortunately it's been very hard to find taxis, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been quite crazy to find taxis and also to just get anything, done. So my carer is still very much here. Do you want to say hello to my audience? Come on, say hello. So this is coming. This is Lucy.
Hello.
Hi. Nobody has joined us yet, but you'll be in the video.
Okay.
So thank you.
Oh, these are nice tights.
Yeah,
You
it's
didn't
too
feel
cool.
any cold.
Yeah, well, I still felt cold. It was still cold. So Lucy's helping me because unfortunately I look like everything's okay, but I'm very, very tired. And I'm trying to like inform everybody that we are on. So
Socks on?
no, leave the socks, please. But I need to get this off too. So I'm just trying to see if somebody's coming on. And then I've not even had the chance to eat. So, anyways, I've got so much to tell you. So much to tell you, but I just have to get things settled to a point. Thank you.
You're welcome. I did not find
The what?
the top that you.
No, is that hoodie,
Yeah.
that big
The
thing,
grey one.
the gray one with the stars is on the bed yeah, it's on my bed. So, anyways, I'm trying to get dressed before she goes, and trying to get things just ready for the show. So, what are we talking about today? We're doing the part two of addictions, but I'm going to have to get up so that Lucy can help me and then she can go on her way. So I'm going to put this down. I'm very much here and I'll keep talking so you can hear my voice. But I just need to get dressed. Okay, please help me with this jacket. So we are going to be, you know, doing the part two, and we're going to be, having more about the whole addiction because I think we focused on just one aspect of addiction. We didn't focus on everything. You say what you're taking off me? Please just let me hang it on the door in the back in the bedroom, the door of the cupboard. No, this one too. So I'm trying to send out messages to people to join us. You know, but start thinking about the different aspects of addiction because we looked at people being addicted to things that are not normally edible, so a form of pica that we saw, people eating non-edible things. But there are also different kinds of other addictions: sex addiction, drug addiction, food addiction, alcohol addiction. We talked a bit about alcohol addiction like 2 weeks ago. Um, all kinds of addiction. So it's not just, oh, let's talk about addictions, but how do we survive addictions? Because the person who has an addiction isn't the only one with a problem, but even the people that they live with, the people that love them also suffer because they have to deal with the person and their addiction. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Um, People have already said they're going to be joining in, so just trying to, oh Jesus Lord, trying to like get the information out to them that we are live. Sorry. Thank you. Please, all the lights.
Off.
Yes, the lights in the kitchen and the bathroom. Thank you. So I've been at the radio station today. Today was a bit of a annoying day. Yesterday was the worst. But let's not talk about yesterday, so I won't be angry again. But today I was meant to go and pick up my prescription. And next thing they're telling me that that my prescription that I had put in since last week has not been delivered. And then the woman made a very, very weird statement. And I'm going to tell you the weird statement, but let me. Oh, Jesus, Lord. If I don't end up knocking myself out today, it will be a miracle. My food has fallen. Okay, somebody has joined us already. Hello, hello. I don't know who it is that has joined us, but I'm very glad that somebody has joined us because I was starting to feel alone. Oh. Please, can you help me look at this? Like, I think I've hurt myself. Just check that I don't have a wound, so I'm not having to deal with that later on. No, not the way. Here, can you see it?
No,
It
okay.
seems that. Oh, okay. Am I okay?
Yeah.
It just seems like it's stinging. It's stinging.
Yeah. Because of the fall.
So I went to the pharmacy. Please just give me a moment. I need to send this message to people so that they can join us. So the person who has joined us, don't go. This is why I'm always rushing on Tuesdays. We have 3 people now. Okay, we have a guest. Praise God. Mr. H. I love this man so much. He always delivers. Mr. H, how are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. No, today was a
Yeah,
bit rough
also,
because getting taxi, getting any kind of movement was not. Oh, Pelumi, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you. Do you know I don't know who I the name sounds very familiar, but I'm trying to recall whether it's my because I have an aburo that is Pelumi or whether it is an Egbon that is Pelumi. So please let me know. But thank you so much for joining. So Mr. A, today has been one kind of, especially with transportation. So I just got into the house. In fact, I've not had opportunity to eat. But let's not talk about me yet. How was your day? I need you to be telling me about your day so that I can quickly send out messages to everyone.
okay, my day was okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just came back, not quite too long, and
Ah,
yeah, but the day it's okay. It was about the weather was okay. It's been hot, some days now, but so yeah, that's
it's
that for
hot.
that.
Lucy, did you hear
It
that?
has
She
been
said
hot.
he said it's hot.
Okay.
My Kara Lucy is here. Lucy, where are you? I'm trying to show you.
I'm here. Hi.
That's Mr. H. That's my sweetheart, my darling, right there.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hello, Lucy.
Hi.
So she just helped me to dress up and everything.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, continue. So it's
So
hot. Meanwhile, we were dying of cold here. Okay,
yeah, we are in summer now. It's opposite. So
that's in South Africa. Lucy
yeah,
is from Kenya, right? Did I get that right? Kenya,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm.
from Kenya. Yeah, Kenyans are chill people. I have friends that are Kenyans. You know,
They're
they're
chill
chill.
people, right?
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
chill
like the
people.
very first day she came, we became friends.
Yeah, Kenyans are very chill people. I have Kenyans friends. Yeah, Kenyan. What do you call it? Kenyan people are from Kenya. How do you call them? Kenyan people are very good.
Kenyans. They are Kenyans. It's Kenyans from Kenya.
Yeah, that's Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
So.
capital.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so Habi, how's been your week? Today is just Tuesday though.
I said you be talking so I can quickly send out information. You're not asking me question again. See what?
Yeah, so it's just today has just been good, and lovely weather. It's not they predicted rain, but it didn't rain. These weather people, they just have their own way of saying things that doesn't happen. Yeah, apart from that, everything is okay, and we thank God. And yeah, so we're talking about how they start and how to survive. You mean that's addiction? It's a
Mm-hmm.
very, very
But before you
thing.
go into that, there's one
Mm,
thing I want to ask you. You said
okay.
these weather people that these weather people that that sometimes they get this thing wrong. I said, bruh, if I was a weather person, they go sack me the first day I start work. You know why? Because as soon as I say and over to Abby for the weather, I'll be like, people, you want to know the weather? Look outside. Stop disturbing my life. Go and look outside. Don't ask me. Don't ask me any nonsense and ingredients question.
Question.
Go and look outside. You will know what the weather is. Because
Yeah,
today is rained today. It's been very cold
yeah.
and of course very, very dark. So it's very
Mm,
depressing. Today has been a bit depressing, but
yeah. But
get through.
but you guys, when do you guys go into summer?
Summer is when? Because
March.
summer is not. It can match.
Yeah.
Which summer are you seeing in March? Why are you lying to yourself?
The summer that we saw last year.
It wasn't in March. It was in April.
How was it?
Mm-hmm.
I was in London then.
London. When we are talking England, please
Yeah.
don't be mentioning London. London is a country to itself.
Yes, it is.
Where the rest of us are suffering, London is gallivanting and feeling cool.
Yeah.
Mm,
Please don't mention London when we are talking. I beg. They don't have mouths in this matter that we are talking at all.
yeah,
It's just and
but
where we are
Bolton
is
is a
so
small
cold.
town, right?
Huh?
Bolton is a small town, right?
It's a village, but I will deny it if you say it outside though.
No, there's nothing like town in England. Everything is
Mm,
village.
Lucy said it, not me. It's not me that said it's Lucy.
There is
So that
nothing.
when they come and look for you, when
They
both
should not
people go,
even say that you're going abroad.
that they shouldn't
This is
even say
not
they are going
abroad.
up.
South
They
Africa
shouldn't
is
say
much
that they are
better.
going abroad. Jesus, you're brutal. Imagine. So you're saying that the whole place is one big massive village.
It's a village.
But it's true, Sha, because we have, I think we have how many cities in the whole of the United Kingdom? Okay, in the whole of England. Let's look at England alone. We have,
mm.
I think, 4 cities:
Mhm.
London, Birmingham, Leeds, and Manchester. Do you know any other? Which other one? They're the
Yeah.
only four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we only have 4 cities in England. And England is one part of United Kingdom. So there's still Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. But in
Yeah.
England, we only have 4 major cities, at least that I can recall. The rest are villages. Let's just not lie to ourselves. They like to
England is
say they
just
are towns, but they are not town.
yeah.
Village in it.
England is just like
In fact, if you go to
a box.
Egbeda is more advanced. That's
It's just like a box. It's like England is just like a box. The roads are small, and it's
the
not.
houses are small, the roads are small.
And everything is bad.
Ah, no, that's not true. Everything is
The
not
weather is
bad.
pathetic.
The what?
The weather.
The weather, no, the weather, forget it. I don't know. The weather and God had a disagreement.
They did not agree.
So that is what is happening with our weather.
Mm.
But you can't say everything is bad. We still have better rules, we have better laws.
Maybe money.
Yeah, but
Even the
yeah,
money is falling apart.
yeah, but it's just yeah, it's what's obtainable. It's because of the way it was built. Because even in South Africa here, you get to a place that the houses are smaller, the rooms are smaller. But now the new houses they are building, it's kind of bigger. It's just the style. They have this kind of style that they build houses. It's just kind of styles
No,
that they build
even new
houses.
houses that they're building in the UK till now,
If no,
they're
if they
still
want to,
small.
most of these people, if they want to use it for rent, they make it small so that they can
It's chocolate,
conserve.
chocolate.
Yeah, so that they can conserve space and make money. But if they're building it for
Let me
like,
say hi to the people who have joined us. Okay, so
mm,
Pelumi Ogunade, hi. Toyo Mozopia, thank you. She said hi, Abby. Sorry about your food. Hope you didn't hurt yourself. I hurt myself. Oh, seriously, safe. Because ah, I haven't told you, Mr. H. I was doing my rehearsal because we're getting ready for our auditions into third year, right?
oh,
So you can't just enter third year like that. You have to audition, you have to pass to a certain extent, you have to have a minimum of a merit, and then pass your audition. And part
yeah,
of that is you have to do your play, and you also have to do your dance. And me, I'm not the Oimbo dancer. Now, if it's to do, Zazu and all of that, I know how to do. But Oimbo,
mm,
ballet, one thing, me, I don't know. So I'm just learning. So we're now doing
oh,
rehearsal. So they teamed us up. So they teamed me up with a girl who is a natural dancer. The girl just started dancing last year, and already she outdances some people that were going to dance school from when they were 4 years old.
yeah,
So I've broken a bone, one small bone in my left foot. So
yeah,
landing on that foot is difficult. So I can only spin on my right leg. But of course, when you spin on
yeah,
your right leg, you have to land on your left foot. I can't spin on the left foot at all. I can't even do anything like that. So, anyways, NASA I go spin. Oh, I was supposed to spin and then slide, right?
mm,
And be on the floor gracefully. Now, saw your sister just spin. I just hear bugudum. I landed like a bag of gari that they threw from Dangote truck.
oh,
I'm laughing now. But when I landed on that floor, water was pouring from my eyes there. It just scooped
wow.
me up. We did
So
the
what do you use for it?
ah, just rubbed it now, knee. With me having fibromyalgia, there's really nothing you can do. This fall that are falling, I might suffer it for the next 1 or 2 weeks because my
Oh,
entire hip and everything is swollen. My leg is swollen. That's what Lucy was looking at for me just now. My
oh,
entire right leg, because I fell on my right side. Everything from my hip right down to my leg is swollen.
oh, okay.
So I was near tears today. And then I was talking about going to the doctors. So I went to the pharmacy to go and pick up my prescription. Then I said that it hasn't been. So you go to the pharmacy, you ask for your prescription, they send it to the doctors. The doctor signs off your prescription, especially if you have controlled medication like me. Then they send it down back to the pharmacy so that they can now issue it out. So the pharmacy now said, that nothing has been issued out to them. Oh.
Is it is
So
it
I
is it
was like, what's going on? And I requested this medication last week. So I now said, please, can you go and check why they haven't sent it down? She now said, oh, that they said that they will send it either today or tomorrow. But my last medication was this morning. So I don't have medication for tonight or tomorrow. I
but
was like,
how
and they know that I have
do you
eh?
but how do you guys I don't understand how do you guys do it over there? Because here it's very easy. The script is always there. Just take the script there
It's
and
supposed
it's
to be
done.
easy, oh, but sometimes coin touches them. So, anyways, don't forget the
Yes.
mhm. I don't even know what to do because I haven't eaten and I'm starting to shake.
But your food is there.
Yeah, but even my medication, I don't have it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyways, please just help me bring the box here. So at least I'll just search it. You know the medication box. Just help me bring it. Sorry, Lucy's still here. So as long as she's here, I'll keep talking to her. But she's helping me.
Where's the medication box?
It's on the bed. It's on the bed. I know. Just put on the light and look on top of, because you know that bottle of water that you gave me on the bed. It poured everywhere, all over the bed.
No. What were you doing?
No, it was there, but you didn't close it properly. So I just woke up to find myself wet. No, I didn't do it. You didn't close it properly, Lucy.
There is more.
No, I'll take the one here.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, darling. See you later.
There's nothing inside. See.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Use the smaller key, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm grateful. Don't forget your vinegar. You're leaving it.
I'm going for it.
Okay.
Where's the small key?
The small key is on the shelf. I'm going to be at home, so please come early because
I'll come early.
because of this leg. Thank you.
All right.
See you tomorrow by God's grace.
Tomorrow, love.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Abi,
Ma,
I can't find it.
it's on the shelf.
Uh,
On your right.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Okay. You see, I love this my carer because I have several carers that come by. She's one of the three that I love because she really takes care of me. Like you hadn't arrived. She was helping me to dress. She was doing everything to make sure that I was comfortable. She's done my food. My food is waiting for me in the kitchen. She's cleaned everywhere for me. And she's helped me to massage this leg to a certain point. But we know that by tomorrow it's going to be bigger. So she's going to come and deal with it. So, anyways, back to the story that was just in. So I now had to go up to the doctors that, what happened now? Why didn't you send my medication? And I said that the pharmacist just brought it now. I said, no, that's not possible because I requested for it since last week. Do you know what this receptionist told me? That the pharmacist must have lied to me and gone to go and hide, pretending like they were bringing the prescription upstairs. Please, does that make any sense to you?
Wow. No.
Yvonne.
Wow.
Hey, my party for jungle. Yvonne, okay, she should not join. Let me just say, Temitope Steve Jagede, thank you so much. Say, I'm here now. Thank you. And thank you, Toyin. Toyin said, sorry, Abby, thank you. So I now said to the woman, I said, please repeat what you've just said. Repeat it back again and hear yourself. That a pharmacist will leave a patient in the pharmacy and go and hide instead of taking the prescription.
Hello.
Hey.
How is
Yvonne,
How is you?
welcome. How are you, my dear sister?
My dear, how is body?
Today we dey push am o.
I carry Becky head. I not feel show myself. Proper
Hope it wasn't too cold where you were.
It was cool. Well, it was alright. Wasn't that bad.
Mr. H, Yvonne lives in a city. She
Yeah,
lives in a city.
I live in a town.
No, Birmingham. How is Birmingham a town?
I moved from Birmingham to. No, I mean, I live in West Bromwich now. So West Bromwich is a town.
You don't live Birmingham?
No, Birmingham, West Bromwich, they are neighbors. It's like it's like Wigan, Bolton. Is it Wigan, Bolton, or
Wigan, Bolton.
somewhere
Okay,
just
you don't move from city to town. Yeah, I know. Sorry,
And my town is still hotter than that your town, that your village.
No, I already told you that my own side is village now. Why are you yabbing me on top of it again? It's a proper village.
That is
Mr. H,
village.
Where I live is where I live right now is such a village. We only have 2 major stores that you can say, okay, proper store you want to go and shop. For you to be able to buy anything, we don't even have a market. We don't have a market. We have to go all the way to Bolton
Oh,
to go and
are
buy food. Eh?
you not in Bolton?
No, I'm in Fanwood now. I've moved to Fanwood. I'm now in the village, Gangan. In the
Huh?
village, Gangan. That's where I am now. I'm not
Yeah.
in Bolton, no.
You
I'm
is
now in
in
the
the
proper village.
remote village.
In fact, if you move from my house small, you just see farm with cow, sheep, goat.
Premium.
Just to tell you how much of a village it is.
Ooh.
Which doesn't make any sense that there are farms nearby, but no market. We don't have a market. We don't even
Eh,
have a train station that is functioning like that, though.
really?
The train station, trains come through it like maybe every hour and a half. While
So,
the
and it's
one
like
in
very
the one
temperamental.
in Bolton is every 10 minutes. So imagine, check out the difference.
Ah,
Proper
yeah,
village.
I thought you were it's still in Bolton, like, but the postcode is still B something, or is it, sorry, M something?
But yes, it's B something, but the B is far. It's not like Bolton that it should be when I was in Bolton, it was BL1. This one is BL Gino. The
Honestly, I thought
BL
you
is
were
far.
having a good time in Bolton. I didn't know that.
The one where I live for Bolton, I not try. I try now. How many years? 16? 16 years in Bolton.
How far is where you are to Manchester?
Ah, if you are going to drive from my house, you get there 25 minutes. If you are going to
Oh,
take train, you have to first of all take train to Bolton first. You have to take bus to Bolton first, then
Bob's
jump
my.
on the train to Manchester.
Oh, no,
But if you're going to take bus from where I am to Manchester, you're looking at 1 hour 15 minutes by bus.
but it's not that bad. It's like going from Birmingham to
Exactly. So it's very, because it's a village and it's tucked where they live, where it dey is tucked away in a way that is not straightforward.
and the
Now
people hiding it.
now village. Remember that song? Joko no
Yeah.
no mojunajo. Le plus beau garçon du village. For those of you who don't know, Yvonne and I went to the same secondary school. And we had a French teacher who taught us this song. What it means, we don't know. Well, I think I have an idea that there's somebody who lived in a village with his son, and they used to sing a song. That's all I can remember about it. Anyway,
Because the shame where they catch me for that thing, and you will not believe. Do you know that one of the out of in our set we were three that did French. No, leave me no use and make anything for my life.
don't say that.
So what I
I
mean is,
wanted to do French, but I
all of
wasn't allowed.
all of them did some became either they're using it. You not
But
even
me,
go right
I
French
actually
exam.
went to
Right French
French
for anything.
school. I went to French school. I studied French. I even won a competition where we were only speaking French.
Yeah.
And I won a competition. What did I no? What am I saying? I lie. I was a runner up, first runner up. So first person, second. I be the second. But they give me present. Even I carry my present, come off from all the way from Nigeria, come here. But
Yeah.
ask me to speak English. Now so I go to speak French. Now so I go they look your head now. Because
I,
back then we had someone to talk to, but nothing.
yeah, if you don't use it, you know, even
If you
when I
don't
was
use it, you lose it now.
even when I was working in Total, I can't. They gave the Alliance from sales came to come and they were doing lessons. Me, I put head. I want to learn. I carry so that expatriation. I go enter expatriation.
Mm.
Yeah, you see the
Okay,
take it.
let us
Nothing
get on with the show, Yvonne. We go yarn our own after, eh?
You
So
know
let me
what?
just say, Yami Baja. So, sister, hey God, let me take off these glasses because I can't see. Sister Yami Baja says, Sister Yami Baja Avila says, good evening, Avi, and all hands pink waving. Okay. So let us go to the topic at hand because I have people here now. Sorry for all the rigmarole. Today's weather and transportation was not funny. Well, Mr. H, we talked about addictions last upper week, not last week. We had something coming that was urgent that we had to talk about last week. Yvonne, did you hear the show 2 weeks ago when we talked about addictions?
No.
Okay, so we're talking about addictions, how people sometimes develop addictions, what like their causes. Mr. Femi. Mr. Femi, please put on your camera or your mic because I can't add you on. Thank you. So we have people that they have some addictions are actually inherited. Some are inherited through watching the person have that habit. So, like you see some people, their father was an alcoholic, so they too they start to drink, and they too become an alcoholic. You know, that kind of thing. Now, some people's addiction is through something that they love, and then they can't stop it. Like I gave the example of when I became addicted to crafting because
Oh, I
it
think I
was
remember that. Yeah. I
ah,
think
you
old
remember.
age.
Thank God. You remember when I was severely addicted to it. It was a problem. It's like I would rather be crafting than eating. It
Mm.
took over food. It took over having a shower. It took over everything. I wake up first in the morning, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm crafting. I wake up in the middle of the night, around 4:30, and I've only gone to sleep around maybe 3 a.m. But I wake up about an hour and a half later, and I'm at the table crafting, and I'm in serious pain. But it's like an addiction. I couldn't stop myself. I had to really fight to stop it. So where we stopped our argument or our discussion 2 weeks ago was about the definition of addiction, because some people were like, if you like something a lot, then it could be an addiction. So if you like food and you're like, I must eat, then it's an addiction. Some people are like, some people like sex. So anything, they turn themselves to carpenter, any nail, they will nail it. Is an addiction. So people are like, no, because you like something a lot doesn't mean that you're addicted, though, that kind of thing. So that's the rundown. I just wanted to give you rundown. So yeah, what's
Oh
your
yeah, I
idea?
remember I was in that show because
You were in that show. Very good. So
when you
before
mentioned
you go on, I have BW. I'm trying to. I don't know. It's just initial BW. Good evening from the US, and then Sister Anna. Hey, praise the Lord, birthday girl. She's here. She said, "Good evening, everyone." Sister Anna, join us. So Yvonne, oh yeah, continue. Yvonne, what's going on?
sorry, my iPad fell.
Me, my own too fell. Get Yakata just again. Yeah, continue.
Oh, Jakarta, oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Not have mercy. Uh, yeah, well, I remember when you mentioned your addiction and well, your crafting, and I told you that it may have been therapeutic for you at the time. So it may not have necessarily been addiction. You just
Ah,
found
it was
solace in it.
addiction.
Mm. But I think it's. I think somebody also mentioned something about coffee.
Yeah. Some people said they were addicted to work. Some people said they're addicted to coffee.
Mm.
And they couldn't, like their day is not complete unless they have you also said you have a coffee addiction, didn't you?
Yeah,
Dr. Senu is here. Dr. Senu is here.
I used to drink
Well,
that coffee. Yeah, Costa.
Uh-huh.
And it's the very strong. If I'm going to buy coffee, it has to be the strongest on the shelf. I will
Ah,
buy. Then when I started having eye twitches, and I have to like, this thing will kill me. Make I stop because it was becoming something else. Me when not dey drink coffee for Nigeria before, I can't come UK. Coffee won't come by me. If you kill me, I have to stop.
like he
I,
was actually having some, but you see that you stopped. I don't think that's an addiction. If you could stop because it's making your eye twitch
I'm
and it's
serious
making
because no, I had to talk to myself. It was difficult. So I didn't just stop abruptly. What I started doing was I started taking like decaf. It gives me that sense of like, yes, it's coffee. Because I just thought that without coffee, I will sleep at work or I will not be able to function. And when I drink the coffee like this, the very high, strong one, Costa, they did it, I think they did the strongest. I will be like on top of the roof. I'll become hyper. It will be like I don't kolo.
hey
I'm
God.
and you just be hearing me in the office. I had to start with decaf and slowly, and then what I started doing recently was if I feel like I must have something like that, I will have tea. So it can be a very terrible thing. You have to speak. I think for me, what helped me was I told myself that if I don't stop it, I have to look at the health aspect of it first, you know, to be able to contain it.
Hmm. Okay, so me, I can't relate because I don't drink coffee, tea, or hot chocolates. It's never appealed to me,
Uh,
and so I do not understand. When I see people say their day has not started unless they have a cup of coffee, means nothing to me. But that's something for it to actually physically be able to affect you like that. Now, Mr.
yeah,
H, you've heard Yvonne say that she took it to the point where she started to twitch and she had to speak to herself. And over the 2 weeks, when we had that discussion, I've actually been reading up to see how people break out of addictions. And I noticed now, my research isn't conclusive. Before I continue, Dr. Senu says I'm addicted to hearing aproko.
I would
He's, yeah, he's addicted to amebo. To hearing amebo, not that he's an amebo himself, but to hearing amebo. And me, I'm always happy to share amebo with him.
so
So,
you're
Mr.
addicted
A,
to sharing Amiibo.
me, I'm addicted to sharing amebo with Dr. Senu alone. So, I was my research isn't conclusive, but
Yeah.
I found out two funny things. For a lot of African people,
Mm.
now emphasis on African, not black people, African people. A lot of people that have addictive tendencies, because I'm not a doctor, I can't say that they have addictions. But a lot of people that have addictive tendencies, or there's something that they're getting close to being addicted to, you will
Mm.
hear the way I was able to stop. I spoke to myself. I called myself and said, no, this is not right. I had to advise, like, there's a lot of willpower,
Mm.
a lot of willpower, like, no, I saw that this thing wasn't working for me, so I stopped it. But when you now go and look at black people, so I'm talking
General.
Americans, wherever, I'm talking white people also, you will hear, oh, they had to go see a therapist, they had to go see somebody, they had to see a shaman, they had to see somebody. It's like the help is always external, that then combined with their willpower. So, Mr. H, have you noticed this? And if you haven't, what do you think about that little research?
Yeah. Addiction is just like how will I put it?
Yvonne, can you sorry, can you turn down your microphone? Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mr. H,
and
continue.
okay, Abby, I wanted to say that BW, it's a friend of mine that I invited. So
Oh, oh,
yes,
thank you so much for joining. Thank you, really appreciate it.
she's, she's, she's in Texas there. Yeah, so we
In
spoke earlier
Texas.
today. Yes, Texas.
Yeah,
So
thank you
yeah,
so much.
addiction to me is just like probably a habit that you grow to fall in love with, and it's
Mm,
very very dangerous depending on the addiction you have. People have different kind of addiction. Some say it's coffee, some and if you want don't take care, your addiction might lead to something. Because I used to drink a lot before. That's another addiction that I had, and I found out that when I was even going to classes, I would after we finish the lectures in the morning, and the liquor store is just down uh, the building. I'll just go buy liquor. Everybody knows me. I'll buy liquor for myself, for my classmates, even for the lecturer, and even the security. Everybody know me, and
mm,
I was living like
Aye,
that.
Baba.
Yeah, I was living like that. I will have liquor. I will have liquor in my car under my seat, the passenger seat, so that I can reach to it. I have a permanent cup that I put on the pigeonhole, so it's always. And I found out that this was
And you
draining
were
me.
driving.
Yeah, and this was
Yes.
draining me because I wouldn't eat a lot. Instead of I wouldn't eat breakfast, and if the lectures finish on time, I would go to buy food, but I won't eat the food. I probably put it in the car, then go to one pub, sit down there, drink a little bit. Then before I get back home, I'll get home around 5, 6, and
Hmm.
I'll eat some of the food, and after eating some of the food again, then I will go back to drinking again, and it was really draining me. It's something that if you don't do, you're not happy. If you don't do it, your day is not complete. It's just drain you. And I've seen people drown in their addiction. I've seen people die in their addiction, and it's very very bad. And I'll give an example. I met somebody in prison one day, and this guy speaks very good English. I couldn't just understand why this guy was in prison. He speaks good
Hmm.
English. So I was just talking to him, and I just felt, there's some people you just speak to, and you just say, no, what is this guy doing here? And he said to me, he looked at me, he said, look, I was in my house, and I was working for I work for a bank, but I work as an expert for a bank. So I go to different towns to do their IT. So one day I was transferred to Cape Town to work for them for like 2 weeks, and I was in my balcony, and I saw some guys just walking down the road, and they said they needed food, and I invited them into my house, and I gave them food, and they said, no, I take this. They call it tick. It's a kind of recreational drug here. And he said, oh, let's try it. And he tried it. And he said, oh, this thing looks, it's. And this guy's a professional. He has 2 cars, he's married, he has kids. So his kids were in another town. So he came, you spend like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You teach some people here about the computer, this in the bank. Then he goes to another zone. So he said, no, this thing looks this is good.
Welcome, Nana.
That is how he got addicted to it, little by little, and that is how he lost his job. He didn't go to work anymore. He lost his job. He lost his lost his marriage, he lost his car, he lost everything, and he ended up in prison. You see, the people he gave food, and because they were stealing, they were now stealing copper from the government, and they arrested them. So the addiction is very,
Mm.
very, it's very easy to start, but to break away, it's very, very difficult. So my addiction was drinking, and I just had fun. I can just wake up in the morning and just go to the fridge and take a drown in this thing. And I wasn't eating a lot. I was like, it's just my lecturer would tell me, hey, Mr. H, when are we going to drink? After so much, he bumped his head. He was telling me, if you come to class tomorrow, don't tell them where I bumped. No, this thing that I'm doing is going to drown me. He said I'm going to end me in the hospital, or I'm just going to lose focus. Although I was doing very well in class, and I was the I was the top student, and I just felt no, because I drank a lot. I wouldn't lie to you. People used to call me professional drinker. I would drink. You wouldn't know that I even drink. I would drink. I drink a lot, and it's as if I have not drank anything. No, this is the switch. I just switch up my switch of drinking. I said no, I won't drink again. And that was then. I never tasted alcohol since then. So and it has been so. That's me. I can stop it. I can stop any addiction I have. I can just switch off my switch and say no to it. And because I used to create two bodies for myself, the body that the good one and the bad one. So I don't allow the bad one to control the good one. So I don't
Okay,
let
so basically,
I let the good one
Mr.
control the
H.
bad one. So the good one, I'll switch it on to say no, stop it, and I stop it. That's how I was able to beat my own addiction. I just woke up one morning, I said no more. Yeah.
So
Can you hear
basically,
me?
you follow the premise that I said about African people being able to talk themselves out of addiction, but
No, that's
with other
no.
people,
Mm.
they have to almost have external help. They have to have a psychologist or somebody that is going to help them, a therapist of some sort. Okay,
No, it's
Nana,
no,
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
no, it's
Abby.
yeah. I just want to say something. It's
Okay.
that's a very wrong notion. It's not about African or being African. Everybody,
No, I
we are all
said the little
human.
research I did. I didn't say that it is a scientific research.
Yeah,
Oh. I said,
it's wrong. It's wrong, and that research is very, very wrong. Anybody can be addicted to anything. My cousin in Nigeria died out of drugs.
no,
That he was taking,
again, I'm
and I
not
still
saying
have classmates
every
that takes it. So
African.
it's yeah, but I'm saying generally human beings. Human beings. I have friends. I have friends that take recreational drugs and weed, cocaine, crack cocaine, all those wild parties. But it's you, individual. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Nobody should talk you to it. So one thing about I would advise everybody to do: don't start it, because if you start it, you might not have the power to stop it. But I had the power to stop it. For 3 years, I've not tasted alcohol, and that
Okay.
has gone. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
that.
let's hear Abby's thoughts. So, Abby, thank you very much, Mr. H.
Good evening, everyone. I don't think, Mr. H, I'll start from you. I don't think you had the power to stop it. You had the determination. It's not called power; it's determination. So you are determined that I'm going to stop this thing, and you make every effort to stop it. So that's not
No,
power.
it's no, you're wrong. It's not my case is not determination. It's the power to overcome. I just woke up one morning and said that is the end. It's not that I was taking little by little. People tell you take one. We are taking 10 before you take 6.
You've gotten yourself to a stage before where you have been contemplating about it. You might not have stopped, but you are contemplating about it, particularly about the danger that it's going to bring. Now, I that it could bring, whatever it could. When we're talking about addiction, sometimes I think when we look at it, we're looking at it from now. I'm looking at it from reflective from Mr. H talk. We are looking at it as something that somebody just started yesterday, and then you wake up and then you can stop it. addiction starts sometimes very little. When some people are young, they start all sorts of things. And that is something you can find sometimes in environment. And environment is not limited to Africa. So when I say environment, because some people are already thinking, but environment is anywhere you are. Now, some people have the determination to be able to do certain things, not because they can do it, but because they are determined. Okay, I'm not going to do this thing. They try it, they fail. Maybe Mr. H was right about his own power. You never know. People have different kind of power. I don't know. Maybe superpower, maybe super power. I don't know. But I just know that sometimes it takes a lot of, I think when we are talking about all these things, we are only talking about things that we know that are really, really bad. Maybe we are talking about alcohol, we're talking about having crack and all of those things. Even social media can be an addiction.
Yes, yeah, very true.
How do you stop it? It's like a drug. If you're too engrossed with it, taking it out will look like something like somebody has died. And that's typical. But if you have that determination with you to say that, oh, you're going to stop, it will be difficult no matter what. You will want to, force yourself to do it. You want to, you will, and that's why some people, instead of taking maybe cigarette, they have nicotine and all of those things, just to somehow saying that, okay, I'll trade this one for that one. I'll trade this one for that one. How do they survive? I don't know. I'm trying to look for what addiction me I have.
Okay.
Maybe mine is social media.
You're going in and out.
Oh, sorry. I said maybe my addiction is social media.
Okay.
And I've been able to survive.
Okay. Thank you for that. Sorry, because someone is saying I didn't acknowledge them. I can't find you. Mimi, can you please leave a comment because I can't see if you are there. Until you leave a comment, then I'll be able to say, oh yes, you are here. But I can't actually tell if you're there watching or not. It doesn't tell me. So please, anyone who is watching us and wants me to know that they're there, please leave a comment. Write something in the comment section, and we'll be able to at least communicate that way. So please do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Abby. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, good. I was about to say I was about to say what you had told me never to call her. Omolara, thank you so much for joining us. So Nana, are you there? Hello? We can't hear you. Can anyone hear Nana? Okay, yeah, go in and out, no problem. Okay, so while we're waiting for Nana to get back to us, I'm going to read out something that Sister Honor said. She said, for some, they become addicted by accident, say a sports injury, and given medication professionally. Taking off the medication, some people get hooked and even overdose. So, Nana, can you say something? Let's see whether you're...
Yeah, the girl is in another village somewhere.
Your village people are not letting your mic come on.
Proper village. Anyway,
Nana?
Abby, just while she's still trying to come, let me just say, what you say,
Okay.
that your research, let me just put it in another way. Say we Africans no one die. If you just tell somebody addiction will kill you, person go say, I no one die. You go just tell yourself. Because when we don't have all these sort of like outside Nigeria, like let's say in UK, America, you have all these. It's okay to go to a psychologist or to go to therapy. In Nigeria, it looks funny, when you say I'm going to therapy, they think they go to therapy for, that kind of thing. So we have a way of talking to us. We what is this, self medication or self help or whatever I want to call it. You just say, this thing where this is they do me like I don't want to die. Nobody will teach you how to resist You know, I think that's the mental. If based on that research, I think that's why we're able
Mm,
to help ourselves. You know, it's subject, like you said, it's subject to. It's not conclusive.
it's not conclusive, but that's exactly what I was also thinking, that maybe we just have a way of, talking to ourselves. Like, that if you die, you lose. So, you try and find a way to get out of it. Nana,
That lad,
exactly. Nana, are you there?
I'm here. Oh, you just, I don't know if you can
Hey,
hear me.
a round of applause. So, you were there when we were talking about addiction.
Yeah,
And
the last
Sister
time.
Honor
Can you still
said
hear me?
something very, yes, I can hear you very clearly. She has said something quite fundamental. She said, let me put up the comment. She said, for some, they become addicted by accident, say a
Mm.
sports injury, and giving medication professionally, then taking off the medication, and some people get hooked and even overdose.
Yeah.
And I can actually attest to that. But before I attest, Nana, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's true. I agree because we've seen cases like that actually. When people get addicted, I'm not going to mention this drug, but it's very good for pain. Usually, they give it people that have survived. Sorry, did I say good evening, everybody? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good evening. Um, for people who just maybe pass through a surgery, they give it to them because it's very good for pain. And then when they, as they're healing, that helps them, and then they keep taking it, and then at a point they can't stop taking it. It's a popular name, and I'm not going to call it because I don't I don't want to start a trend. So yes, we've seen
Mm,
that happening really, and usually it's for pain. Most people that accidentally get addicted, it's usually pain related. Yes, so I agree with that statement really.
yeah, because when you're taking something for pain, it doesn't just deal with the pain, but it also
Yeah,
relaxes your muscles, makes
exactly.
you calm, makes
And
everything
who wants to deal with pain
nice.
really? Who wants to
And who
have
wants to
pain?
deal with life when you can just be in a place where everything is nice and
Yeah.
sweet and calm? Then you now found out that you are not a slave. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one of
You
the
can't
med,
do without.
I've got pain issues, of course. So one of the medication I've been given is a stronger version of the medication that you're talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
technically, I was only supposed to be on it for 6 months.
Mm.
I've been on it now for about 8 years.
No matter.
That's what I was telling Mr. H about the medication. If I don't take that medication within an hour of when I'm supposed to take it, you don't want to see me. I start to have the shakes. I start to sweat. No matter whether I'm inside snow, I start to sweat. I become disoriented.
Mm.
I'm like, itchy body, that kind of thing. So I don't even mess with that medication at all. I'm like, I beg at the time I'm supposed to take it, because it really helps me to be able to cope with with life, living with pain and all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I know when people are saying, this thing is addictive, because I'm on a much stronger version of it. And
Mm-hmm.
I know what in the thing they do for body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very slippery slope. That's why I think in the UK they're not quick to hand you medication like that.
Yeah.
Unlike America, where if someone has an injury, they'll give it to them. Before, England will give you anything stronger than paracetamol. That pain has entered GR 50. You understand?
Mm.
Because I think they're very aware of the addictive powers of that medication. Amalara, are
Now,
you there? Hey, Sister Anna said mental relief. Sister Yemi, I don't know what it is you said no to. I'm
I
sorry.
was like, isn't she coming up? Isn't she supposed to be part of this?
Hey, you see that, Sister? Hey, thank God, the
Eh.
two The two lovey Tokyos, they've seen each other. I'm out. So, Omolara,
Now,
please. Now I want us to look at another aspect, and I want to ask you because I know that you do some talks around this. Maybe not particularly, but around it. Now, I know from speaking to survivors that there are some people who it affects them two ways, who have been unfortunately assaulted maybe when they were children. Some develop a is it addiction or I don't know whether to call it addiction, but like they and
survival
sex, they are 5 and
mechanism.
6.
Survival mechanism.
Maybe survival mechanism where they and sex are 5 and 6. Like they will have sex anywhere with anybody. They don't care. They I don't know whether it's love, but they must have it. While for some people, they will never want to be touched ever again. They don't want to, ever have anything to do with the opposite sex or sex or in any way, shape, or form. So, what can you tell us more about that? Because this is all about learning and maybe recognizing something that we might seek help for or whatever, because we don't know who's listening to us. So can you talk about this and be very sensitive about it, please, but talk about it so that people can maybe find some kind of help or solution.
Okay, good
Somebody
evening,
has
everyone.
dropped out. Nana, where are you? Okay,
I think
continue.
Nana is visiting our village in Kano because that's the only place that I can understand that network.
She's not in Kano.
I said I think she's visiting Kano because she
Okay.
can't be in the US and then our network is fluctuating like this. Anyway, good evening, everyone.
My own fluctuates and I'm in the UK now. I beg, leave
Of
Nana
course,
alone.
are you people not broke and hungry? You can't even eat your houses as
Out
it is.
and came back.
See insults. We'll come back to you. Don't worry, I'm going to think of answer for you for that insult.
I will not take it.
Anyway, it's good to be here again. Sorry, I can't use camera. I'm already in bed. I forgot that today was.
It's all right.
You see the thing
Sorry,
with
wait. Abifash, did you hear that insult she just gave to us that live in England?
Yeah, now.
what is
Yvonne,
it?
did you hear? Let all of us prepare how we are going to answer her. Oh yeah, Omolara, continue.
It is the truth. See, I they talk out with my full chest.
And that's how people are gathering to us. Eh?
We can't hit our house, but people are jackparing to come and meet us, ba.
It's because they don't know better. Believe me. Anyways, so we don't deviate. The issue of addiction, the after effects of being an addict, it's in most cases not always pleasant. And that's why when I speak to people, if you've been able to come out of any sort of addiction and to a large extent you're still sane in quote, you've done a very good job. Your God has helped you, or whatever you want to believe. So in terms of the being a sex addict or not wanting to have sex at all, is heart to heart with Tomlara you were trying to refer to. And I'll tell
Yes.
you that okay, I prefer to see people to see me and see them when I'm talking. Believe me, Abby, this sexual and drug addiction issue today is more between young teenagers and those in their 20s. And I mean, we have a number of
Please,
students.
whoever is making a lot of noise there, can you just mute yourself, please, because we can hear everything. Thank you. Continue.
We have a lot of young teenagers that are struggling with prescription drugs and some all other sort of drugs. And we have a lot of young teenagers. There is a 17 years old girl that has been talking to us. Our mother, and this is the thing with Nigerians, and that's why I can't say it enough. Seeing a therapist does not mean you are mad or you're crazy. Our mother keeps taking her to mosque every Sunday and Friday, and taking her to some sort of afar cleric who gives her onto. For those of us that knows what onto, doesn't know what onto is. Onto is when they write Quran with the ink on the plate, on a slate, and they wash it and give it to you to drink, believing that the words from the Quran will heal you. This girl, on the average, must at least have orgasm twice a day at 17 already. And she started experiencing this when she started taking what did she call, well, the name of the drug is not important here. What I'm trying to drive at is that our society in Nigeria has a lot of people that are struggling with drug and sexual, is it sexual addiction now? Sex
Yeah.
addiction than we know or than we even talk about. No, almost nobody even talks about it. Because how our society is now. Everybody now only pass. And you that you're
Mm,
talking about therapy, talking to a therapist and all. Now look at this girl. She reached out to us because she knows that she needs help.
mm,
But the only help that is available to her is either she goes with her mom to the mosque or she goes to church. Even our health department, they don't take the issue of therapy. It's not like in the UK that your doctor will tell you, I think you need to see a therapist. It is only if you go to private hospital, you hardly see government doctor, someone that has like 100 patients to attend to come and tell you, oh, your problem is not paracetamol. I think you need a therapist. It's very rare. So, and because people are not having this understanding and are not getting this sort of lecture, they keep saying is demon, is prayer point. You drink unto, you pray 5 times a day for someone that in their mind, this girl believes that this particular girl says that if she does not have sex, she feels that nobody is seeing her, that she's not worthy, that she is ugly. She feels she gets depressed. She does not have that urge to get up and just do life or and just live life or go in the classroom. Our own understanding of she being a good a human being or being wanted is that somebody is ready to have sex with her, and we have them, a lot of them like that. I mean, a lot. Believe me, it is a pandemic. Drug and sex addiction in Nigeria is killing, and it's not just our we that we are just starting life after 40 and all. I mean, from young teenagers, like 15 upwards, the so for the few people that I have come across that are recovering, and unfortunately, well, fortunately, they are in their late 30s and all. But unfortunately, their own recovery or the way their body is reacting to the abuse that they've been through in their relationship from their partners, not wanting to discuss anyone's issue, is mainly those that have been abused physically, emotionally. When they come out of it, they find it very difficult to get settled and to trust someone to that extent, whereby they are open for cuddling, they are open for allow themselves to be loved, let alone to now become like you, Abby, that you want to have sex, all the ones you've not had in 20 years in one day. No, they are not cut out for it. So there's this
be
particular
like me now.
maybe you don't say once you marry now, the first 3 years now sex they have, you know.
Allow me.
There's this particular lady
How
that
to
now
make up for time.
for time, right? Right now that she's been out of the abusive marriage, and she just does not want, not that she doesn't want, but she doesn't have the feeling. And it's the same thing that happens to people that had been addicted say, in most cases, say you have been addicted to sex, for example, and you're going through, because, and again, I'm speaking for Nigeria now, for other people that are listening, because in our society, most of these people that are recovering from sex addiction or any sort of addiction, 8 out of 10 of them, not because they went through the healing process the right way that it should be done by seeing a professional. It is by their own self-will and prayers and a couple of people that are in their life that are able to talk them through it. But if they've gone through this healing process through the right channel, a professional, there would have been other measures that they would have probably put in place, talk to them, so that when this addiction is gone, you are not, your life gets back to proper normal, and not that you then use, okay, I've been addicted to sex, I slept with, I don't know, 1,000 men. Now I'm okay. I don't feel like I need to sleep with a man to feel worthy of anything. But then I don't want to be touched by any man. Then I close the door, and go back into my shells. This is happening in our society here because the healing process has not been done properly. And that's why this sort of people use English. They use this sort of method as a protective mechanism for themselves. It's some sort of withdrawal, you know.
So some people basically use one addiction to cover another addiction.
Another addiction because they have not gone through the healing processing the right way. It happened to me myself when, after I was able to get out of my coffee addiction, and my nutrients and my body nutrients were getting back to normal and all. Then I started with black tea again.
Okay.
Just something. That's why I still drink tea the way I drink tea till date, not in an addictive manner now, like something I have to do. So I then have to start the whole process again. So what I would just say is that when it comes to issue of addiction, it is very, very important that you get the right type of help, the right kind of help. In short, it's so bad that if you're actually seeing a therapist, make sure that you see a therapist that has a track record for the sort of problem that you have. So apart from just what the therapist has been taught, the therapy also has had experience and has worked with people with similar problems like you that has been able to get rid of the addiction and still get back to their normal living.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Now, just going through the comments, Sister Yemi C. Biamila says, "Hi all. It can be a dependency issue. Most people depend on pain relief tablets for headaches, whereas they probably need to take a breath of fresh air to ease congestion. Yes, that's true. Or they need to drink water. Like these days, I don't, because of the amount of medication I'm on, anytime I get a headache, I just go and drink water. Because to me, that's my body's first indication of telling me you're dehydrated. You need to get some water in you. So I would drink water, give it about 30 minutes. I'll have about, half a cup, like every, 10 minutes for for about half an hour. And usually the headache will walk away by that time because I've replenished my system. But for many people is, give me Fensic. When was the last time I ever saw Fensic? Give me
Alabuku is still in the market. There is no more Fensic.
There's no more Fensic in the market.
No.
That Fensic.
But Alabuku be saving life till 19.
Yeah, get me Alabukun there, especially when, like me, when I was in Nigeria, anytime malaria wants to start doing me to immediately, Alabukun with omidun. I don't know what is omidun in English. The pap, like God, I don't know how to speak this thing. Is pap, but raw pap, the conch water of the pap. So when the pap has been made, there's is somebody trying to help me there, or somebody's laughing at me? Anyway, the conch water of pap with that alabukun, just jam the two together. Yeah, send it down. Next thing, the malaria that's trying to do weke we just clear. But sometimes the malaria don't do answer. Malaria be like, have you finished? Yeah, let us start. So so for some people, is a straight up paracetamol. Yeah, but if it's not Panadol, it can't be Panadol. They'll throw paracetamol down their throats instead of just drinking water. So we have issues like that. Going back to the whole sex addiction, you know, like you hear all kinds of people say, they can't get through it and all that. Now, I can tell you for free that a lot of people have bipolar tendencies, or they actually suffer from bipolar disorder. They find themselves almost, because part of the symptoms of it is sexual accessibility. Like, they're not in control of wanting to have sex. It's just something that happens to them. They want it. Now, I don't know whether it's every person that has bipolar that happens to, but when you read up on bipolar, in the bipolar disorder, you will actually read about sexual freedom, that kind of thing, where the person can't sweet water, but is not just omidu. Is the literal translation is sweet water, but it is from pap, and it is the conquest of the conquest, and when you drink it, it clears things from your body. So, going back to this whole sexual addiction, so and some people have taken it to be like, oh, the reason why I cheat is because I've got sexual addiction. I can't help who I sleep with. But you see, when I've actually watched a program, I watched a health program about sex addiction, and I realized that hey, what a lot of people call sex addiction is just greed, is
Sorry,
just
I
lack of.
just do want to interrupt you. People that has sex addiction, they cry about it.
It's
They go,
very painful.
it's very
It is
painful.
very,
So
very
you
painful.
have sex with someone, you go back there the next day and the other day, and you say it's because no, you don't have sex addiction. You lack self control. People that have
Mhm.
sex addiction, after doing it, they break down. They want to beat themselves. They regret
It's
it.
not even
It's
just
like
the
each
beat
time you
themselves.
cheat, if you are on a strict diet, each time you cheat, that guilt, that bitterness you feel, that oh, I'm taking myself back, is what they feel each time after they've had sex with the wrong or the person they're not supposed to have sex with. So I see a lot of comments like that, and I kind of had heard a couple of women say, oh, I have sex addiction. That's why I had actually cheated on my partner a couple of times. No, you don't. Someone that has sex addiction would not even come out to say, I have sex addiction, because there are stages they go through. There is first of all the denial stage, and then when they finally know it between them, within themselves, that they have sex addiction, it takes a lot for them to actually admit to it publicly that they have sex addiction, just as it is with most addiction. That's why when you go to AA meetings, the first thing they will say is introduce yourself and admit publicly that you have this addiction. So the moment you see anyone say, oh no, I'm addicted to sex, no, they don't know what they're talking about. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
because it is usually lack of self-control, it is usually greed. It has nothing to do with an addiction. Because that program, and I can only speak on the program, it was conducted in Germany or something like that, an European place. And the people who actually have sex addiction, it's a compulsion. They can't stop themselves. They can't even help that they might be in public, or that they might be in an office, or they might be somewhere where they'll be caught and they'll get into trouble. Because at that point in time, the only thing that is in their brain is that sex. Some will even have that sex to the point that they will be hurting, like seriously wounded, and they still won't be able to stop with the wound. They will still continue. There was one of the guys in the documentary. I don't know what he was doing, that his male member got peeled, like he had wounds all over it, and he was still like looking for who was going to have sex with that wound. And he was when he was now talking that that the thing he was paining him, like serious, they had to take him to a sanatorium to like get him help, because like, what, imagine you're wounded and you're still dragging yourself into battle, saying this battle you must fight it. And it's not as if, okay, small fight the battle, yeah, you come and come and fight the battle, I will sit down here and be watching you. No, active member of the battle. Gun, 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 gun. So that's when you know, okay, yes, this is an addiction that is talking. This is not just one small thing. And just like what Omolara said, a lot of people who have addictions, they struggle to come out and talk about it, because usually the addiction pushes them to shameful places. It pushes them to do shameful things, for shameful consequences
Well,
to
Abby,
happen
look
to
at it
them.
now. How pleasant it will it be for me to come on this program now and said, "Hey, my name is Omolara. I'm a sex addict. In the past 1 month, I've had sex with about 70 men."
Omolara!
No, but just no. But you understand what I'm saying. So
I know,
that's
I'm
not,
just teasing you
not
because that's what
something
you tease me too.
it's not something that you just say, "Oh, I've cheated on my husband 2, 3 times." It's because he's not satisfying me in bed and I'm a sex addict. See, it's no be so. You need to, you just that don't abuse those that actually have the problem. The point
Yeah.
I'm trying to make is that the problem, it's a big,
Is
especially
a massive problem.
massive,
Sister
massive problem.
Yamisi Gbajabiamila says nymphomania. Yes, that is actually what it's
Yeah,
called when you
you
have
know,
a serious addiction.
addiction,
They
and you
use
can never be
nympho
satisfied.
they use nympho so wrongly these days. Oh, a woman has a high sex drive, and like she likes to have this thing. She enjoys this thing maybe like 3 4 times in a day. But it's not as if she's going to die. She doesn't have it all. But she just, like, if she has her way and this thing is available, she will enjoy it 3 4 times. Then I say, she's a nympho. She only has a high sex drive. She's not a nympho.
Hmm.
Nympho no go send even when there is nothing again. There is not there's no liquid coming out. Now is dust that is coming out, air.
I be blood.
The person will still be like, Otio, I must do. So that you now know that, okay, when someone's life is being destroyed, then you know that, yes, there's an issue here. So just Adebayo
Oh,
Kule said, laughing so hard at the sound of a wounded member.
see, oh,
Then
they said she dropped location. Let's make it 71.
then he says, someone I drop
71.
location, let's make it
See
71
you
for
there.
the month. And Kayode, in his typical Agbaya way, he say the
I'm
way
telling
Abby is
you.
trying to separate Nifo from high sex drive is sounding personal. Yes, it is personal.
We know we
Very,
all know
very
Abby likes
personal.
sex, so she needs to separate it. So we don't think
You
she's the
have to
nympho.
separate it. High sex drive is different from Nympho. Yes. Some people have high sex drive. It is not Nympho. So
Just say some of us. We understand you are referring to yourself. It's okay. We won't tell anybody else.
I was hoping Dr. Senu would have joined us, because I want him to
Oh God,
come in and give
it's
us
well of
some. I was hoping he would come. He's online. He's watching us, but he hasn't come to join us, because I was hoping for some sound medical advice, because
Yes,
we've talked
that's
about
for you to be able to tell us more since he's a gynecologist. Okwashewo.
ah
So,
this is your mouth.
but he said it himself now that he's a
He didn't
gynecologist.
say he's
He's from
Okwashewo. He
Oshewo.
never said he's
He has
Okwashewo.
seen all of
Okwashewo
it.
means
Finish.
husband of prostitutes.
He
Haba.
has seen all the sizes, shape, color, and discoloration of
Thank
the.
you. Itabdu.
Um,
Thank you. Anyways, we've talked about addictions and everything, and maybe even how to survive it. We've touched on it, that a little bit of willpower, a little bit of talking to yourself, a little bit of faith, and all of that. But at the end of the day, there are two things I want us to take away from this. It is not bad to seek help. It is not mad people who go to therapist or psychotherapist or psychologist. No, it's just people who need a little bit of help. And we need to start normalizing getting help instead of making people who need help feel bad for wanting help, for needing help. Now, I don't know why you keep dropping in and out. It's making me upset. Please come back. So let's not make people feel bad when they need help. And if we find out that somebody has something that they are dealing with, instead of turning it into latest gists or something to start insulting them by, we should support.
The latest
Sorry?
gist. I'm
You
singing the song.
I mean, now this is not latest gist, though. This is somebody needing help. And if you can't help the person, leave the person alone. Don't start going, hey, at the latest August meeting. Hey, una don't hear. Did you hear about Amaka? Hey, Amaka, they go catch Amaka when they smoke Igbo. Amaka don't turn to drug addict. Why am I saying Amaka? One of my very dear friends is Amaka, but not her own. No. Let me look for your name. Hey, Gringori. Gringori now they smoke Igbo. Have you heard? Don't turn it into local news. Radio Katanga. Don't. Get help for this person. And if you find that you have addictive tendencies, now what do I mean by addictive tendencies? Mr. Kayode Atabatele, please, can you come on instead of sitting there and be making comment about my high sex drive? So anyways, it's even made me forget what I was talking. Let me just read the comments because I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about if you have addictive tendencies.
Thank you, my sister. So if you have addictive tendencies, like me, I know that I have serious gambling tendencies. So I don't even go near anything like gambling.
You know me.
Because, hey, Yvonne, talk now, talk.
I said, you know me.
Do you know the guy I knew? I went to Blackpool with my friend. So you know those slots. At a point in time, I almost started. In fact, what am I saying? Let me not lie. I actually was begging strangers for money. I'm telling you, it was that bad. I was like, please, do you have a coin? Does anybody have a coin? Like I was walking around asking people for coins.
You can't help it.
If you see the way my friend dragged me, she was like, so you have this kind of problem with your body and we didn't know. I was like, no, let me play one more. Just one more. Come on, give me some. Come on. I know you have coins. Come on. We went to her car. We emptied her car, emptied her purse, everything, every spare coin I could find. I took it. That's when I knew that. Once I escaped that Blackpool, I said to myself, nothing in this life. Anywhere I see any kind of slot machine, I am walking the other direction, sharp. Because even I could not recognize myself.
777.
And 777 is the number. It was a serious something. So let me see the more help. Sister MC Badabia says, please clarify Dr. Senu's profession. Yes, so some people that are calling him husband of Ashawo people. No, he's a gynecologist.
Is he not a gynecologist?
A gynecologist is not husband of Ashawo. So you do you go to gynecologist? Don't you go?
Please, is it not all women's body that gynecologist sees and examine?
But Ashawo is different from women's body. So I'm sure you go to a gynecologist.
You're taking it just on the surface as it said. It simply means a man that's a group or a man that likes women. That's why they call yellow taxis or kwashewo, because they carry a lot of women at night and all of that. So when you hear that someone is a gynecologist that is funny, you say, a gyneco, that's what he does. Kwashewo. It's just like that.
God, Dr. Tedo is here. Dr.
Hold on,
Sen,
there's
are
one
you
that
using
gives,
your ear to ear?
that gives ashewos contraceptives, drugs after they contact STDs. They help them with the abortions, so they become close. Just like the taxi drivers at night, they carry them for free. They keep their extra bags in their trunk and all of that. That's the joke now. It's the general joke. It doesn't mean that Dr. Sheni is Okwashewo. Do you get it?
In
It's my
fact,
first.
you have pressed the issue more than the issue safe. It is fine. Abi, Kayode Atomatele said, Nigerians have been going for therapy for a long time. It's just that they prefer to go to the religious therapist and roadside therapist. But Kayode, I'm sorry, a therapist has to be trained. Because someone carries the name pastor or alpha or whatever or babalawo does not make them a therapist. So I don't think that therapy, you go to someone, you say, oh yeah, we have people showing up. Dr. Senri is here. Welcome, sir. Please let me read. Please, you're welcome. You are very, very welcome. Before you say something, let me just read the last comment. Then Adebayo Ayokule says it's
You are
actually easy
echoing.
to talk about addictions when you are not the addict. While an addict can't be helped until he or she accepts the fact that they're an addict, it starts with self realization. Then Dr. Senu wrote, I missed. YBG, what did Dr. Senu do wrong? You did not do anything wrong, go. Somebody just apparently clarified your occupation. Over to you. Dr. Senu. Dr. Senu, over to you. Come and rescue yourself.
Which one is over to me? Okay, right. Good evening, everybody. Yes, you can see my lovely woman dancing on the thing. Now, I actually wanted to use this opportunity to
Abi,
listen to people.
you see what I said before he came? You see his profile. You see.
What is wrong with my profile? Excuse me.
It is beautiful, sir. Welcome, Ms. Omolara. We have missed your
Molara, what exactly is wrong with my profile now? Biko.
There is no problem. It's okay.
Mercy me, oh. I have somebody dancing there. I have it's obvious. Anyway, this addiction thing. I let me actually put off the phone because I'm using two devices, and it might. I don't think there's feedback. Doesn't matter. Let the phone just carry on. Anyway, right. So I listened to what somebody said about sex addiction and drug addiction in Nigeria, and we've had this discussion before. And it's very possible to go into a very technical thing with this, and it's probably not appropriate because we are chatting about addiction. From the purely medical point of view, let me start from the very last thing that you said about nymphomania. The nymphomania is actually an old term for hypersexuality, and it's actually now been replaced by what is called sex addiction. So they are not really that different. The problem is that it's not just a dependency on sex, it's compulsive sexual behavior. And it's not just about enjoying sex and wanting to have it 10 times a day. It becomes very intrusive. You can't really have proper relationships. You use it to escape problems of life. Yeah, and they have multiple sexual partners, and even people who have anxiety and depression, they get guilt and shame, but they still go about having sex. I mean, until a long time ago, there's something called the DSM, that's the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders. They refused to put hypersexuality in it because they said it was just a high dependency behavior. But it's now recognized that it actually intrudes in normal life, and it's worth trying to treat, because anything that preoccupies you, where you spend excessive amounts of time thinking about it, trying to do it, is clearly not healthy. And
I said person go wound. It goes
so there's a lot going on there. I mean, it's not just about having orgies and fantasies and behavior and just dependency. Dependency is a low level for any sort of addiction. So one of the things with addiction is this: addiction is not you like something to the point where you just love it. That could be a passion. Addiction is something where it starts by the thing gives you pleasure. So your reward is going back to do it. Then after some time, as you rightly said, Abby, the thing becomes your master. The point at which it gives you pleasure has now blurred, a bit like with alcoholics. There's not alcoholics, no matter how much they drink, they're never really, even if they are drunk and you are harming yourself, before you know it, you go back. But what is clear from addictions, especially we're talking about drugs, not just about habits, I mean work, sex, is that it affects the brain. So the brain is conditioned. So until that's why when people say when Mr. H was saying I had the determination, somebody said determination, someone said willpower. That's all English. Bottom line is this: there's a recognition that is something bad, and there's a way to go about it, which he was able to do. But the truth is, a lot of addictions you can't. And it's not talking about Africans. What happens in Africa, because our societies, a lot of things get hidden. Some people just disappear. You don't know what has happened to them. A lot of very rich people's children have become horrible due to one of the first experiences of cocaine addiction was somebody who went to America, got 3 houses. By the time he got hooked on cocaine, he lost his houses, he lost 5 cars, he lost his wife, he lost his children. He became a wreck because of cocaine addiction. Cocaine was what was driving his life. So when we are talking about addictions, even with work addiction, even here, we talk about work addiction. Work addiction is because you are told, yeah, you do well at work. By the time you get work addiction to a point, you will become burnt out. You'll be mentally exhausted, and the same work, which is actually was your fix, will now become an albatross.
No problem.
When you have work addiction, you are putting in long hours at work, even when they are not needed. You are losing your sleep to keep working at work. You are so obsessed with getting work-related success and fear of failing at work. And you are very paranoid when they talk about work-related performance. Somebody who has a work addiction, when they call him for performance meeting, is going to be anxious and be having palpitation. And so people with work addiction, their personal life will suffer because the work is more important than personal life with wife, children, friends. It's all about work. So some of them even use work to avoid relationships. And they use it to cope with somebody has a death or a divorce, financial trouble. Instead of dealing with it, they just throw themselves into work. That is a very unhealthy work practice. So I'm not going to go on and on. We know about alcohol. We know about drugs of addiction. There's something called addictive liability. Some drugs, once you are hooked on them, that's what the guy said, which is true. Don't start. Once you start to withdraw, becomes impossible without help. And even when people get help, they relapse. That Alcohol Anonymous is not new. People they do all sorts of things, get off alcohol. It just needs one stress of life and they go back onto it. So it's not about weakness. And as somebody said with painkillers, it is true. We doctors, we try not to give in the UK, particularly diazepam, because we know that we have created Valium addicts. And so now to get any doctor to give you Valium, it's really hard work. Because once you become hooked, that is a statistic for the doctor. With regard painkillers, what can you say? Painkillers are opioids now. Morphine, cocaine, all those things. Sometimes you get hooked on them. And there isn't very much one can do there. So yeah, one can get accidentally addicted. But there's nothing one can do there. All one can do is change the type of medication and make people aware that once something becomes your master, it's an addiction. Addiction is not nice. There's no, and it's no. It's not like addicted to music. You're addicted to. Porn addiction is poor. A lot of people have lost their jobs because of porn addiction. It's no longer just go on to, the internet, look for an X movie. They now spend inordinate amounts of time seeking porn to the point where ordinary porn no longer excites them. They now need to see the more severe times. So with addiction, there's no satisfaction. You keep going back because you want that fix. It's a very, very large topic, and I don't know whether I've been able to say anything that's a bit useful. Suffice it to say that addiction, usually it starts with something is giving you pleasure. Then that thing takes over your life. Talking about cocaine, I'm talking about coffee. Yes, caffeine is addictive. Nicotine is addictive. These things alter your brain. It's not poor willpower. So I think we should be very respectful of the fact that addictions are not, they are not things to be trivialized. They are not, and if we realize that, we'll have a little bit more empathy for ourselves when we are sinking into addiction, and for others when they are addicted already. It's not a play topic, but it's worth talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
worth talking about. Nymphomania is not is an old term. Hypersexuality and sex addiction are real. They talk about psychosexual education. We talk about cognitive behavioral therapy. We talk about some medication to treat anxiety and depression. These are all things. And then you have families, and then you also have support groups. These are all heavy things. But first of all, people have to be open and honest about their addiction, because it's only then that they can get any help. Nigeria, well, let's talk about Nigeria. Let's continue to praise our country. Our problems are not addiction in Nigeria. When I say they're not addiction, I'm saying that there are so many more basic problems that devoting a lot of healthcare resources to addiction, a lot of people are going to fall by the wayside, because you are treating malaria, you are treating typhoid, you are treating this, treating that. Addiction, they will just say ibaje, whereas it's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. So, bottom line, addictions are not.
Ibaje
They are,
means like
they
you're
are-
spoiled.
sorry,
That's
ibaje means that you just like I mean, look at Hollywood actors getting sex addicted. Michael Douglas or whatever his name was. These are people who have women at their disposal. The thing has taken over their lives. So Nigeria has had therapy. It is true. It's just that we also have a mindset. So they have counselors in church, therapists in church. I'm sorry, I'm not knocking church, or or the mosque. A lot of these things work. Sometimes they don't work, but it's a big hidden problem. And what that lady said is true. We are going to have an explosion of mental health related problems in Nigeria in the years to come, because in the past it used to be something that was not a problem. This youth of today, they are facing different challenges from the adults. I don't want to take over this program, but suffice it to say something.
no.
Addictions are not something that are to be trivialized, and you can't say you are stronger, you overcame your addiction. You are lucky. A lot of people are not that lucky, and even with help, they still struggle. So what was said before is true. If you can see that something is going to cause an addiction, run, because you don't know whether it's going to take over your life. And we all have things that we need to run for. All of us. When we have depression, we drink alcohol. When we have a relationship, one woman comes, you just go around doing nonsense to the next one. I think they are all subtle signs that you are going down a slippery slope, and to recover may be hard. So once something takes over your life, it's an addiction. It's not fun anymore. Whether it's sex or drugs or alcohol or work or sorry, I had to add that. Anyway, let me get off the mic.
Thank you so
I was
much,
joking
Dr.
about
Sino.
Aproko. Nah, not really. Yeah, Aproko is Aproko. Anyway,
Thank you so much, Dr.
thank you for
Senu.
giving me the
Well,
mic, but thanks.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that you came on and, like really gave clarity to it all. I don't know what happened. Nana, where are you? And to all the other people. Now, also, I have not been able to see him, but Mimi Ahmed is also on online watching us. So thank you so much for that. Really, truly appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abifash. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you for taking out the time. I know how busy and how complicated things are around. Just handling work and then being able to come onto the show. But I really appreciate it, Mr. H. In fact, you are my dependable. Mr. Dependable. Gun 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 the gun gun. Thank you so much for always being there. Omolara, to see you is to have you is to see you. Thank you so much. Nana, I don't know what happened, but you sort of go offline. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you for being there. Also, Dr. Senu, thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who's been dropping comments to I think it's Sister Pelumi Oguade, to Tonyo Mozopia, to Temitope Steve Jegede. I'm trying to this person looks familiar, but I can't for the life of me remember where. Please forgive me. To Sister Yemisi Gbajabi Amila, to BW, who is Mr. H's friend from America, to Sister Honor, to Kunle, my guy. This is the sutra to my karma. Those who know, and those who don't know, they will never know. Also to I'm trying to see all the names, to Kayode Atawatele, the PK to my Shanikwa, So thank you everyone. Truly, truly, truly appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And till we do this again, same time next week, please take care
Bye,
and
everyone.
God bless. And please, everyone who is staying for after party, stay or don't go. Well, thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Yeah,